What up, brothers? It's Clipper King returning for another new review for my channel. I will say this figure only got released at the back end of last week. I've received it this morning. I've already put the unbagging video up, so please have a look at that. If you did see that, you will have been expecting this review. As you can see, the figure in front of you is the Hot Toys Captain America from the Winter Soldier, and is the Golden Age version. I will say, and appreciate if somebody would clear up any confusion here, I was told that this figure were really limited edition because it was a movie promo, pretty much like the Mark 6 movie promo that we had. Now, if that is the case, why does it not say anything about it on the box? I can't understand that. There's nothing about the box that says it's any more limited than any other figure we've had. In fact, it does still have a MMS serial number, 240. So I don't know if that's just misinformation or what it is. I will say the price I paid, it should be limited. There should be about 3 of them in the world because I really did begrudge paying the price I paid for this figure. I will also explain, I bought this figure to review and move on. I posted that on Facebook when I bought it, or just after I'd bought it, and the figure sold instantly. So although I think I paid too much, it were less than the eBay prices that we saw back end of last week, and already somebody's bought this from me. So that will be going to the buyer after this review, or if not tomorrow, the next day, depending on how long it takes me to get the footage I need. So that explains that. Having said that, I will also sort of reserve that sale, because when I've said what I need to say about this figure, now I've spent a couple of hours with it, the buyer might decide he might not want it. It will put to the test if my opinion counts for anything, really. I've been told a lot of times that because of my reviews, people have pulled the trigger on figures. I'm actually giving somebody a chance to not buy this figure here, if that makes any sense to you. Like I say, I won't hold it against him if he decides he don't want it, but I can't bullshit in a review to sell a figure. I would sooner stand the cost of this figure myself and be honest in the review, and that's the honest truth. So I'm going to call it as I see it. I'm going to tell you the things I like, the things I don't like, the things that I think they improved, and also the things that I think are still negative about the figure. Right, so before I do source material, I will firstly thank Anthony Sang for sending it me. No surprise to you, his connection details will be below. Sent it me day of release, direct from the secret base. Massive thanks to him. I will say as well on this point, although I said I didn't like the price, I do also respect the fact that Anthony has a price to pay, and what he pays gets passed on to me, so to speak. So just because a figure's expensive doesn't make him the fault for it. So again, I'll mention that because I don't want people to say, well, Clipper's moaning about the price I had to pay, are you doing him a discount or what's happening? The fact of the matter is, when Anthony goes into a store in Hong Kong, he's still got a price to pay. He's still got to ship it to England, and like I say, I do understand that he's going to make some money off it. Not a problem, like I said before. So we'll get this figure rotating, if my base will, because the batteries are running out, so that will be rotating really slowly. Right, initial thoughts. When I saw the release pictures, I did like the OMG pictures and the other Hong Kong bloggers. I will say they made the figure look really attractive, but the sort of release ones, the early people getting them, there were a lot I didn't like about it. The main points being, I think it was very hamster faced, due to a combination of puffy looking cheeks and also the teeth, the shape of the teeth. I weren't keen on that. I weren't keen that they'd appeared to just use the unmasked Avenger head, and also the shoulder width I think were totally too big, made the figure look too bulky, which also brought into questions the sort of dimension of his legs and his all over body proportions. I will also say I've gone and checked some photos from the film, and that sort of put my mind to rest on a few things, but also highlighted other things, but I'll make that clear as I go on and get into the category. So they were my initial thoughts. In hand, is that still the case, or has having it in hand changed my opinion? That will become clear, like I say. So I'm going to roll on. I think I've said everything I need to. I'm going to roll on and we'll get it scored up. Right, source material. Captain America 2, or the Winter Soldier, whatever you want to call it. I did enjoy it. I went to pictures with an open mind, although I had heard a lot of hype about it from people who had seen it before me. In all honesty, I don't think it lived up to the hype. I don't think the film was as clever as the film thought it were. I think they tried to have a real spy or espionage feel to it, and I think it was very, very low level. There were no massive surprises to me. I've just said that. I don't want to kill it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but also if you haven't seen it, you probably don't want to see it, or you're waiting for Blu-ray, I don't know. So, although people went mad for it and said it was the best Marvel film of the summer, I disagree with that, because I think both X-Men, Days of Future Past were better, and I also preferred Spider-Man 2, but they're just my thoughts. I know my opinions don't always carry a lot of weight, but that were the honest thought. I think it lacked action a little bit, but I will say it was an improvement on the first one, because I really didn't like the first one. I think the first one were very kid-friendly. And to be honest, again, I'm not massively over keen on Captain America. I don't know. Same thing as Superman. Too fucking goody two shoes for me. I like a bit of edge or a bit of wisecracking from my superheroes. I think when he appeared in the Avengers, he was pretty much the square of the group, and they actually had a joke at his expense for that. That is the case with me. I think his outfit's good and everything, but I think he's very dated and very underpowered. But like I say, and he's a fucking do-gooder. You don't always want a do-gooder. You want a bit of a badass. I'd take Daredevil over Captain America every day at week, along with Wolverine and fucking Spider-Man as well, I would think. So yeah, they're just my thoughts on him. To score the source material, I would normally, if it were a really, really good superhero film, I would give it a 4. In this case, I'm only going to a 3. It didn't really float my boat massively, but it were watchable. It weren't shit, but it weren't amazing either. So like I said, source material, I've given it a 3 out of 5. Just have a little look at the figure. Obviously, just an upright pose. It's got him kind of hero pose. Shield on his back, because that probably will be the only pose I will have, shield on his back. But I wanted to show it would go on. When I get to the accessories, I will show how that goes on. So, yep, nice little pose. Just wanted to get the body dimensions. So we'll roll on now to the packaging. Roll on to the packaging, and I'm going to be pretty brief because there's not a great deal to see. Basically a shoebox style design. Pretty much, I don't know, they're using it from all the Marvel films now, with the exception of the new Thor figure. That were a really nice box with the sort of chamfered off edges and so on. But this is pretty much what we get with a Marvel figure. I will say I do like the picture on the front. It's not a movie still nor a picture of the figure. It is like a sort of cartoon or a painted version of it. Just in the hero pose, obviously with the shield, looks really good. I will say, obviously, looking at the wording at the bottom, and then here where it catches the light, it does say the Golden Age version. Like I said, nowhere does it say that it's a movie promo, so I don't know if I've been misled with that. I don't know what the situation is, but if it is the case, then it should have put something on the box to say this is limited edition. If I'm honest, I'm leaning towards the fact I don't think it really is. I just think it's a fucking expensive release in Hong Kong, but I don't know that for sure. Tony told me there was a massive queue for it anyway when he went to Secret Base, so is that just the fact it's a Marvel figure, or is it limited? I don't know. So that is the front cover. I do really like it. On the inside, you do get the inlay slip that we always get, and again, that is the figure, or one of the shots of the figure, should I say. And then inside you get the just a singular clamshell housing the thing. Nothing spectacular. I do like the artwork. I think it is vibrant and eye-catching, which I suppose if you were going to display your figure in front of, like I saw on a Mike Saunders video, that he just got the figure posed in front. He got him sort of behind where he sits on the shelves, and I think it looked really nice. Although it could have done with some lighting or some spots like flooding down onto it just to make it pop. So yeah, I think it would be a box that you would be happy to display your figure in front of, although it's nothing, they're not reinvented the wheel with it. So I'm only going to give the packaging a 3 out of 5.
Right, rolling on to the likeness, and I think this is an important category on this figure. Those of you who follow my channel will know I have had the first Avenger version, and I liked it at the time because I had no frame of reference, nothing to compare it to. I also had the Avengers version, which compared to the first Avenger were better on a lot of levels. The head sculpts were definitely, and the fact that you got 2 sort of bumped the score up. Now I've seen 2 versions, I've now seen this in hand, and I'm looking at the stealth version, not sure, stealth strike version I think it might be called. I know sort of what I like and what I don't like. I will also say, when I saw the release shots of this head sculpt, I instantly didn't like it. And I've always said, try not to judge your figure too soon until you've had it in hand. I know some people can't afford to always do that, so it's a little bit asking a lot for everybody to think, oh, well, I'll buy it then and I'll check it and then I'll get rid of it, because not everybody can do that. And I know I'm quite in a lucky position. I'm not boasting or bragging or anything, so don't get that misconstrued. But I think sometimes a figure does appear differently in hand. It becomes a 3-dimensional thing that obviously you're not going to get until you do see it in hand. But like I say, if they're advertising photos, then for you to spend £200+ on a figure, it's got to look awesome. Now, I don't think... Well, I think the promo shots look really good. I think the release shots, some of them look shocking. Now, the release shots as well, remember, are not taken by professional photographers. They're pretty much pulled out in a box, they took with an iPhone or something like, and pretty much uploaded to Facebook, and you're seeing them pretty much at the worst, if I'm honest. So, I don't always judge. Now, I will say my concerns were... I thought on the pictures the cheeks looked very puffy. It didn't have no definition in his cheekbone area, and then his jowl section down the side of his mouth. I also thought the teeth looked very hamster-esque, a little bit goofy at the front. And I have slightly changed, but that's it's not a massive plus, to be honest. It doesn't look that puffy in the face. If anything, he has got recesses where he's like just underneath his cheekbones here, you could probably see. The teeth aren't as goofy looking as they do look in the pictures. In fact, compared to the Crow, which I've recently reviewed, his teeth look very realistic. Not as much so as the new Thor figure or some of the other teeth we've seen, but they are better than the pictures will represent, and I hope this camera is an improvement on some of the early pictures. So, does that make it a plus point? I'm still going to say no, for a main reason. I feel that the sculpt under there is just the unmasked head from the Avengers, which I think that were a good head as a standalone head, to be honest. I really liked it, but it's been a year since. That figure's been out over a year. If you wanted to do a new Captain America and charge us out to arse for it, then fucking give us something new, and I don't think they have. I think the helmet section is a definite 100% improvement on any helmet I've seen before, because it has got the battle damage on it, looks really metallic. The spray and finish looks metallic, and I do like the fact that they have, I would say, done a black wash, but they haven't. It's it's like been airbrushed sort of up these sections here, like the seam work on the helmet. It does capture the light a lot better than any of the other 2 versions. The wing section here is an indentation. Like I say, all the lines and everything does look really good. So the helmet section and the mask and the strap and everything is a definite improvement. Also, I will say, although it does have a seam at the top of the neck, it is one of the most seamless seams that I've seen so far. So that is an improvement also. But do I look at it and instantly think Chris Evans is under that mask? I'm going to say I do, very, very subtly. I don't say, fucking hell, look at Chris Evans there. It's not like that. And I think when they can turn out figures that look like the new Superman, or they can turn out a Jack Sparrow a couple of years ago, and some of the good work that Entebbe are doing, then I think that it should be a dead ringer, and it's not, in my opinion. I don't know, I think around the eyes, is pretty nice, but there's just something still about the shape of the nose and the mouth that for me throw it off, and I don't think it looks as good as the coming version. I could be wrong until I see that in hand. So pulling away and just looking at the pose, pretty much gone for the feel of stepping forward as if he's about to bowl his shield like he does, like skims it underarm. That's the pose I went for with that. Got the front leg forward, back one trailing with toed arm, his hand out for balance, and then he's just about to fucking skim that bitch off. So that's the pose I went for. But like I say, I'm mainly covering the head sculpt. It don't blow me away. The helmet section, fine, not a problem, but the head underneath, I don't know. It's as if I've seen it all before and it's not got no better. I would say as a complete head, it is an improvement on the first Avengers version, but I don't feel it's any better than the Avengers version. I hope that makes sense. So on the likeness, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. Rolling on to the outfit, and I'll just show you the pose first. Dropping down from an elevated position. He's about to twat somebody with shield as he drops. And that's what we've got. I wanted to get a pose pretty much where he's spread, and I can show you the sort of mixed media that is his outfit. We'll start at the bottom. The boots, soft sculpt, pretty much, and I'm pretty sure we are having both versions here. They're just the same sculpt than the first Avengers version. But what I will say is the improvement is in the paintwork, because now these do really look like leather. They've sort of, they're kind of I'd say a dark tan boot, but then in the recesses as like being washed with a brown, so that everywhere where there's depth in the boot or into the seam, it's sort of a collection of a darker brown. Again, the sculpt is slightly, well, I said the sculpt is same like I've said, but the paint works better. The sole is a different colour brown, as you can see. Moving up, the trouser is a very similar material to the first Avenger. Not as thick and coarse, I would say, slightly slimmer, and broke up into patches or into sections. So like here there's a section with a dark piping, down here's another section with a dark piping, and then you've got like layer stitched on layer. If you look at the fabric, it is actually two-tone blue. It's not just a flat blue, it's a light and dark blue. Can you see the lines? That's what it's like. It does stay tucked in the boot. I will say when I took it out, I stripped it down. Well, I said took the boots off, the hands off, straightened the outfit, because you do get a ruck up in the knee and elbow section. Straightened them out, tidied it all up. Now, again with the outfit, a little bit pissed off, because although the improvement is in the shoulders, there's no improvement in the legs. The legs are still as stiff as both versions that have already come out before. Now, it pisses me off a little bit, because in between that we had Hawkeye, which had a really nice looking set of combat style trousers which were fitted, but they were made of material that would move with body. They were lightweight and they would move where he wanted to move, so you could get a nice split on his leg, you could get his leg really forward, a nice dip if you needed. On this one you can't, because in this upper section the bulk in the trouser stops it doing it, and the fact that they're as tight as they are. So yeah, take that into consideration. Like I said, the material's nice, and I will say the stitch work is really good, but it does hinder the articulation slightly. Moving on to the belt. The belt is an improvement on the first version as well. Just looks better, looks like real leather, although I assume it's not. You could pop that open on the first one. On this one you don't. You actually open the belt. Sorry. There. Wait on, let me get the figure balanced. This opens, and same on the other side. That pops open, the belt would open there. I don't know why you would need to take the belt off, if I'm honest, but that's where it tells you to open it. The pouches are fixed, and like I say, again, look really well. Good paintwork, good sculpt, and a good choice of material for the belt. Moving up the back, this section here has got two press studs underneath. You could pop that off and it would lift all this section here that go over the shoulders onto the sort of flak jacket. So whereas the other one was sort of just a jacket and a set of trousers, this one's not. If you think about it more like it's trousers with an undershirt, which is like a really nice material. It's got a plasticky feel. I don't know if you can hear it. No. Which is a section that sort of, it's the arms, and then it goes into the plasticky feel, like a, what is a soft rubber, or I can't really liken it to anything. But that sort of then goes underneath here, and then this section is kind of like a waistcoat on top of it. So again, you're getting layer on layer, which creates bulk, I suppose. This section here is really, really squidgy. It's as if this sponge inside the armoured plating inside there, which does give decent articulation, although if you were to crunch it, it sort of collapses in on itself. So I think that's an improvement, but I'm not 100% sure. Now, what more can I say? Go up, I've said the helmet, I said down the arm is a similar material, just off-white. Again, the gloves are sculpted, and it is a separate gauntlet. Again, nice colour, matches the boots and the belt really well. It is a lighter looking brown than the first Avenger, and the paintwork is a lot better, although I think the sculpt is identical. And I will say that every hand that we've had with the first Avenger, the Avenger, and this one is all the same, which is a sort of bone of contention as well, so I'll come back to that shortly. So the biggest difference is in this section here, sort of top of the arm, which goes round, and then underneath this waistcoat area, and it does attach to the collar. I like it, and all in all it works. The only nitpick with it is the spongy feel that it's got here adds bulk, which when his shoulders are down by his side make him look square. He looks like fucking SpongeBob square ass, because his shoulders are that wide. It makes you question the old proportions of his body, like I said in the opening. I don't think it needed to be as padded. I think if they'd have just had the material with stitch work in it, that would have given the illusion of padding without creating the bulk. Because like I said, that bulk is not only on this bit here between my fingers, it also goes all underneath. So it's all this like sort of, it's like a jelly material, like a gel pack inside fabric sort of thing. Inside it goes under here and here. What it will do, obviously, is let you articulate the arms. Now, the arms are better, the articulation is better than the original suit, but it's still not perfect. So they tried to improve it, and they did, but not for, I don't know if the trade-off between the improvement they made and the body proportions being thrown out, I don't know if it was a fair trade-off to make, if that makes sense to you. Because like I say, it's still hard to articulate through the shoulders, and I'll bring this into question when I do the articulation. But just on the suit, what I would have done personally is I would made the entire upper body out of this stuff. This material here is good material, and like I said, I wouldn't have put as much either gel or foam or whatever it is inside there that's giving it bulk. I wouldn't have put as much of that in, and I think it still would have worked. Same the trousers as well, I think would have used this. It's not like the new Spider. I wish I could think of another figure to fucking liken it to, but I ain't got out. No, I don't know. It's a nice material, but then I don't know why they insisted on having this sort of, this fine denim, I suppose it is, or cotton or whatever, for the upper body, because it just creates layers, which in turn creates bulk. So that's my thoughts on the outfit. What the fuck shall I get? I sort of applaud them for the fact that they knew there was a problem with the first Avenger, and they thought they want us. I think this outfit is pretty popular among the Captain America fans. So I think they thought, well, people do want the definitive first Avenger style outfit. How can we improve it? They went back and tried it. They did to a certain degree, but they also left some of the problems. I've told them before, if managing directors of Hot Toys want to get in touch with somebody in the know, they can always ring Uncle Clip and say, look, you've had First Avenger, what would you do to change it? I would say fucking improve head sculpt and sort outfit out, sort articulation out. Well, how would you do that, Clipper? And I'd say, well, I would do this, this and this. And like I said, I won't charge them, I'm sure they'd thank me for my time, and then we both move on. But like I said, they've tried it without consulting me, and I don't know that it's totally worked. But like I said, because of what they have done with the outfit, it is an improvement on both versions I've seen so far. But like I say,
for the outfit section, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I do prefer the boots, gloves and belt and the suit in general, but there is still niggles with it.
Moving on to articulation, and probably after likeness, it's the most important category, particularly on this figure, and a lot of time to me altogether. A figure that don't pose well don't last long in my collection. I like the ability to repose, because other than that, I'd just buy statues. So, is this good? Well,
step back, show you the pose. I don't think you would have got any version of Captain America so far to have get his arm up that high. That is probably as high as it will go, and I will say the suit handles it pretty well. Now, it's also given me opportunity. Listen. Can you hear that? It feels like you're stroking a balloon, a thick balloon. That's what it feels like. And like I say, take this section between my fingers out of it because that is cotton, and then these sections are this like a rubber feel. So they did it obviously to get better articulation. They've improved it, definitely. The arm bends at the elbow really well. It's a double bend elbow, so you can get good articulation there. The neck will move at the lower section and the upper section, so you can get sort of dynamic or dramatic dips and movements on the head, which I really like also. The gauntlet and hands move separately, so you can get good articulation through there. The spongy section in here allows you to crunch, but not crunch freely like something wearing like a Superman. It couldn't crunch like Superman could, or something like Spider-Man or whatever, because there is still a build up of this foam. Can you see how squidgy that is? And I will say as well on this is off-white, but they've also sort of airbrushed again into the recesses and the divides, which I like because it makes it look ultra realistic, and I do really like that. The strapping, I would say, is slightly better than the old one because you get these metal straps and metal sections here, and you don't feel like the studs are going to fall off every time you move it. Good rotation in the waist, although the trousers do restrict that. I don't understand why, but they do. Now, the reason that this falls down on articulation for me is they still never improved the leg articulation in the knee or in the hip area. It's still really restricted because of the tight trousers. Like I said, to do it, they're going to have to change the material, I think. I hope the strike version don't have this material. I hope because it's a different colour or whatever, they can move on to a different material that will work better. Like I said, something like the Hawkeye, something like that. Or a really, really softer jean material, I don't know. But the fact that it's tight does make it restrictive. You could never get it into like a crouch. Nowhere near. Too much build up of fabric to do it. The knees, they tried to improve by making these separate sections, and then they've got like the black piping around, which is supposed to like move on itself, if you know what I mean, like be able to crunch up and move. It doesn't really improve it, if I'm honest. It's still a bit restrictive at the knees. Moving down, the boot is one solid piece, but it is really soft rubber, so you can still get nice dip, swivel and rock on the ankles because they're the long pegs inside. Another point I will make on the articulation or the body in general is the fact that it seems the correct scale. I will show it stood at side of Thor in a minute. The first one was undersized, and they knew it were undersized because they then started shipping out spare longer ankle pegs. This one I think is about right. It's probably in scale with the Avengers one, so slightly bigger than the original one, and I do like that about it. I just wish the proportions when the arms were down by its side looked better, because like I said, sometimes he looks as wide as he is long. So I do like that pose though, and it's holding that really well, bearing in mind that shield is metal and it's probably a little bit heavier than the original shield. It does hold it well because, I suppose, because of the suit and the shoulder mechanism, it is bulky enough to hold it. Another point I will make as well, when you're sort of turning the arm upwards to get it like that, work the suit around it, because you can turn it, it'd have all the suit trapped right back of it, and then you could sprain the shoulder to keep pushing the suit. So move it a bit, rotate the suit like that, move it a bit more, rotate the suit like that. I hope that makes sense, but it just sort of
it keeps moving the suit out of the way so you're not straining the hinge inside the shoulder mechanism. So I hope that helps as well. But like I said, it will get its arms straight up, well, not straight up, but a lot higher than the others. I do like that pose. In fact, I think if I were keeping this figure, I would have it pose something like this for a limited time. I wouldn't want to stress the suit, but I would want to do that. So yeah, articulation. This pisses me off because although they've massively improved it in one area, it's still got the same fucking problems that both previous ones had, namely top part of trousers. So what do? I'd say his arms won't go together either, so he's not articulated as just a standard true type. So I would have marked it down to a 4. Because of that fucking stupid that they haven't improved his trousers at all really, I'm going to knock it down to a 3 out of 5. Rolling on to the extras, the accessories. This shouldn't take long because he don't bring shit all with him. So I thought, to counteract the fact that I've not got a lot to show you, let's put him in this mental pose. Looking like that, fucking skydiving. That lass in office wants to meet you, Steve, on Saturday night. Can't, I'm busy. Steve, what are you scared of? Go and get your end away, my friend. No, I don't want to. I've been stuck in an icicle for a long time and I'm not sure it's working correctly. Come on, Steve, she'll hate slag, she'll sort your out. No, I've told you, Black Widow, leave it alone, yeah? I've got feelings for someone. Who is it, Steve? It's you, I love you. But fucking off he jumps, trying to avoid women. He's scared of the long-haired people, so he fucking jumps out plane and glides on down. He's a fucking man of action. That's beautiful pose. Well done, Uncle Clipper. You are the dog's testicles. Well done. Anyway, back onto review. What's he bring? Well, obviously the figure, metal shield. I can't think of a way really to demonstrate that that is metal. I will say the paintwork is improved. The scuff marks really do look like scratch paint, as you can see. It does have like a depth in the paint, a metallic look. It's more noticeable probably on the inside. Really well done. But other than hit it with something to make it tingling sort of thing, I don't know a way to display that it is metal, but it is. Take my word for it, I won't lie to you boys. So you get that, you get the destruction manual, which pretty much shows you what the how the shield attaches to his back, which is really easy. Pretty much on his back he's got like a metallic looking hexagon buttle sort of thing. The long section here slips down behind that, and then the shield, you sort of open the strap that he holds onto and then hook it behind the part of the strap that's nearest to the shield, if that makes sense. Read the book, it's pretty easy, and it goes flush onto his back and it does look quite nice. So that is how you attach the shield. It's not a magnet like someone asked, it just uses that. Hand pegs, hands, so you've got relaxed, fist, spread, you've got right and left of that, pointing right, and then shield holding. Obviously up here we've got the spread and the shield holding hands on, and then the generic stand. No additional stand. Don't know if that would have been a good idea. No unmasked head, no fully clean or fully battle damaged shield, no gun, no sort of pouches that the other one brought that went sort of over his shoulder. So it pretty much is what it is. Now, we've all seen the prices on eBay. I've looked on eBay this morning and there's still one going. There's one going for 315 quid, and then there's about 3 or 4 going for about 265 quid. I didn't pay that for it, although I didn't pay a lot less, I'm going to be honest. I don't want to tell you exactly because that's between me and Anthony, but it were fucking big money for a figure that pretty much don't bring fuck all with it. So, I don't know. There's nothing really, no plus point. I mean, we all expect a weapon and some hands. We all expect a stand, so they've given us nothing extra. So, I'd be generous to get a 2, but that is what I'm going to give it. But, like I say, look at that pose. Look at it from every angle. Look, it don't look no worse, regardless where we look at it from. Whoosh, floating down to earth. Here he comes, Captain America, beautiful. As I say, on the extras, I'm giving him only a 2
and a possible 5.
Right, rolling on to value, and also I will sum it up here, tell you the complete score and my final thoughts. Right, value. Fucking... I don't know where to start. But all I would say is, firstly, remember, the value is nothing to do with Anthony. What he pays is what it gets sold for, plus a small commission and the shipping that goes on it. So the price I've got, obviously, is what I pay him, but he doesn't set the price. It's depending on what he can find it for, and that's what price I get. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I paid, but let's call it, let's say this figure we're going for the 260 that we see on eBay. Is that a £260 figure? Is it fuckers like? I can't express enough how much it's not a £260 figure. It's fucking... To be honest, it's an £130 figure or £140 figure in all seriousness. Because like I said, I don't know how limited it is. It don't bring fuck all with it. The box ain't presentational and there's still faults with it. Like I said, if you've gone out and you've spent the £260 and you bought it from Tim Cent or Good Shipped or wherever you've got it from, I think we're all guilty of massively overpaying. Now, like I said, I bought this figure knowing that I could receive it, review it and sell it for the same price I got for it, which is what I did. That figure is sold, like I said. When I took it out of the packaging this morning, I did get a little buzz off it because I'm thinking, oh, fucking hell, they've improved this, they've improved this. I can put it on a shelf with my Spider-Man and my Hulk and my Iron Man and Thor. I could have a nice little sort of Marvel display in there and it'd look good. That probably would be the case. But is it worth £200+? No, I can't tell you it is. I'd be bullshitting you. It's like I say, don't bring enough. If they only released 600, which is what I was led to believe, that there would be 300 released in Hong Kong and 300 released in America, that might be the case, but at the end of the day, for that you want a standout figure, and is it? I would say no. It's an improvement on the Avengers one, it's an improvement on the first Avengers one, but it's certainly not a £200 plus figure. It's not a DX, it don't bring fuck all, it don't bring another head sculpt, so I don't know. Like I said, if what I say in this review hinders the fact that that guy no longer wants to pay it, he ain't paid me the money yet, but like I say, if he decides, well, you've just basically said figures shit and it's not worth it, yeah, I have said that, and if you don't want to pay for it, don't pay for it. I'll stand the cost of it, not a problem. But like I said, I'm not going to lie and tell fucking 3,000 other people, oh yeah, it's worth £200+, because the honest truth is it's not. Now, I don't think that will influence one person to buy it or to not buy it. If you've decided you want this figure already, you're going to buy it regardless what I say. I know a lot of you'd like me to back you up and say, oh, well done, you paid £200+ for this figure, well done you. I'm not going to say that because I wouldn't pay that to keep it, so to speak. You know what I mean? If I've got a float of money in my PayPal account, do I want it to take a £200 dent for this Captain America? I would say, if I can look past the initial fucking getting it and getting it out of hand, then no, it ain't, because I'd sooner wait and hope that the strike version suit comes out for about £160. That's what I'm thinking. So that's my thought. The value, I'm only giving it a 1 out of 5. I'm sorry about that, but that is the facts. I will also say, if it is a case that there is only 600, the price will probably stay around there or probably go up a little bit, like the Mark 6 movie promo when that come out. That were another thing. It were nowhere near as good as a standard Mark 6 with all the battle damage pieces, yet the price on the movie promo one went up, and I can't understand it. So, I don't know. If this is a case that's what it's going to do, then all well and good. But I personally don't think it will. I think it'll sort of fall in price before it goes up in price. That's what I think. So like I said, the fact that we don't get nothing for it and it cost a fucking arm and a leg, I'm only giving it a 1 out of 5. Again, I can't fucking say enough. I do not blame Anthony for that price, because I know how much he made from me on the price I paid, and it weren't a lot. Let me just say that. So, to sum up, and I've just glanced at the overall score, and it's 19 out of a possible 35. Now, I think that might be the lowest scoring figure I've ever had. I don't know without going back through the channel, but I'm pretty sure it is. But like I say, I've scored it as I see it. I know it's the hot new figure. It only came out last week and it's hot off press, and this review will probably do really well. But the truth is the truth. I've always said I want to be honest, and I do want to be honest, even if it's a matter of saying
I don't know if I would buy that figure. I don't think I would. But like I say, that's another review done and dusted. Oh, just to say, I did put it up with the new Thor figure, the light armoured version. Now this one I understand is limited and is my preference over both versions of Thor. So just to back up what I've said, I would pick Thor over Captain America every day at week and twice on a Sunday. So of your two figures, I would get Thor, definitely. Thor is awesome. Captain America is good, but not very good. But I just wanted to show them in scale together. They're on the generic stands, and I think they do look pretty much in scale. So well done to Hot Toys on that. But anyway, like I say, another review done and dusted. For now, this is Clipper King Brothers, and I'm out of here. And just before I do go, I thought I might as well show. As you can see, I said the figure was sold. I just wanted to show that Bruce, your figure is on way, buddy. Thanks for buying from me and trusting me to look after the figure during the review. The fact that you'd already sent me the money through before you even give me comments on the figure. Also, we did request that I would sign it, so I have done. So this will now act as your certificate of authenticity. If nobody believes you've got a Clipper King original, just show them review as well. Review backs up signing, you know what I mean? Happy birthday, Bruce. This cat was reviewed by Uncle Clipper. And there you go. Done and on its way. Thanks for watching, brothers. Thanks for buying, Bruce. Thanks for sending it me, Anthony. I'm out of here.